Hi guys, all-round crazy right-winger Steve Bannon was interviewed by The Sun about his old boss Donald Trump, UFOs, and of course Nigel Farage. Bannon made an interesting prediction that the former Brexit Party leader could become the next Prime Minister after Keir Starmer. Should we listen to or care what this Trumpist has to say? No. But could Farage win a seat and become Prime Minister? Well, somebody over in America certainly thinks that's possible. Have a listen to what he had to say.
I think the Tories are actually, if you could pick a conservative party worse than the Republicans, it'd be tough to kind of create it. It would be the Tories.
I mean, that's quite a big statement.
No, it's a brutal statement. Last night you guys passed this thing finally, Rwanda, about these refugees. I think Sunak at the last second is trying to show that actually the Tories stand for something.
No, that's not what he's doing. They've been pushing this for 2 years now. The Rwanda bill. It wasn't even originally Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak was against it, along with James Cleverly, who called it batshit. The Tories have been pushing anti-immigration policies for a long time now, at least the last 14 years. So this isn't some last-minute change to become populist.
I can't quite discern it. I think there's going to be an election wipeout if you run on a traditional Tory ticket. Like if you ran as a non-MAGA Republican here, except in the most liberal areas, in conservative America and red America, you would not stand a shot. That would be the equivalent, I think, of the Tories right now. I hope.
No, the reason the Tories are going to be wiped out is nothing to do with populism or nothing to do with being like MAGA or something like that, or not being like MAGA. It's to do with the cost of living crisis. It's to do with the incumbency. It's to do with 14 years of Tory rule, how they've run down public services, destroyed the NHS, schools, infrastructure. These are the reasons why people are going to vote them out. It's nothing to do with populism or a lack of it.
And I've been a huge supporter of Nigel's to get back into this thing in some official capacity. I think Nigel Farage will be Prime Minister after Sir Keir. And I think Nigel Farage, with this kind of populist nationalist take, it will be a guy that already had the most important political development with Brexit. I think he's the guy to actually see Brexit through. And I believe he'll be Prime Minister one day. And I think he will lead the United Kingdom to the sunlit uplands.
That's quite...
So I'm not the only one laughing at such a comment. Okay. Nigel Farage will lead Britain to the sunlit uplands. Unfortunately, he doesn't go on to describe these sunlit uplands. But anyway, so is it possible for Farage to become Prime Minister one day? Well, under first past the post, it's extremely unlikely. But if Labour were to bring in proportional representation and Reform UK could become the biggest party, they don't have to win a majority, just have to become the biggest party, and they form a coalition with, for example, what's left of the Conservatives. Then if Nigel Farage is the head of the party, he's the leader, he could become Prime Minister under that scenario. But under the current scenario, no, because Nigel Farage can't even win a seat for himself, never mind win seats for his party. He ran 7 times and lost 7 times. I'm not sure if Nigel Farage, in his chat with Steve Bannon, has ever recounted that. So under the current model, it's practically impossible for Nigel Farage to become... Like, he isn't even running at the moment. So what would have to happen, of course, is under PR, proportional representation, Reform, or whatever it's called in the future, would become a big party. It would have to win a lot of seats, and then it would form a coalition with smaller parties or party, and then Nigel Farage could become Prime Minister. But Nigel Farage doesn't want to be Prime Minister, and also we're talking about something at least 10 years from now. But I don't believe Nigel Farage wants to become Prime Minister, because that involves taking responsibility for things. So when things go badly, the public look to you to fix them. Nigel Farage is not about fixing things. It's about breaking things and blaming others for them being broken. Look at Brexit. Has he taken responsibility for Brexit? Has he ever apologized to people who he lied to, He told things would be wonderful. He even said that he would leave the country if Brexit was a mistake or wasn't a success. He later said, yeah, Brexit isn't working. Did he leave the country? No. Why should anyone trust anything Nigel Farage has to say when he promised to do something and then, well, when he had to cash in his chips, he was blaming others. Oh, it's not my fault that Brexit isn't a success. It's the Tories. The Tories haven't implemented it correctly. And notice Steve Bannon here saying that Farage is the one who'd be able to get Brexit done or deliver Brexit. What does that mean? Brexit hasn't even been implemented fully yet. When it's fully implemented, it will mean more costs for businesses and more problems. How is that Sunlit Uplands? The type of Brexit Nigel Farage was pushing was even harder than the one Boris Johnson delivered. And what about all the the problems related to Brexit? For example, the situation in Northern Ireland. I've yet to hear Nigel Farage even comment on that. Never mind describe how his Brexit would succeed in maintaining peace in Northern Ireland and the Good Friday Agreement. I doubt he's ever even read the Good Friday Agreement. So I don't see the point in inviting somebody on to talk about British politics when they haven't a clue what's happening in Britain. I don't really comment on American politics for the same reason. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.